Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to find the right answers, while others keep stumbling over the same mistakes? The truth is, the secret to a wiser and more balanced life doesn't lie in modern techniques or quick fixes. It's hidden in an ancient treasure that's often overlooked. Proverbs 18. This chapter contains powerful truths that can revolutionize how you approach your words, decisions, and relationships. But here's a warning. What you're about to discover might go against everything you've been told. These principles challenge common beliefs but deliver real and lasting results. If you want to understand why your words shape your world, how your choices impact your closest bonds, and why seeking advice is crucial, get ready. What follows could change your life in ways you never imagined. Lesson 1. The power of words. Have you ever thought about the weight of the words you use every day? A phrase said at the right time can lift someone from a tough situation, while an ill-considered word can crush even the strongest spirit. Think about how a simple "you can do it" has made a difference in your life. And the reverse is also true. Harsh words spoken in anger leave scars that even time struggles to heal. Words are seeds, they bloom or wither depending on how and where you plant them. Want to harness the power of words? Start by complimenting someone today sincerely. It could be a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger. A genuine "thank you" or "you're doing great" can transform someone's day. And here's the kicker. To speak wisely, you must first learn to listen. Something we'll explore in the next lesson. Lesson 2. The importance of listening. How often do you wait for your turn to speak instead of truly listening to the other person? It's a common mistake, but also a golden opportunity to grow. Listening isn't just polite. It's a tool for wisdom. When you focus on understanding instead of reacting, you avoid misunderstandings and create deeper connections. Think about a conversation where you felt genuinely heard. Wasn't it transformative? Want to practice this? In your next conversation, resist the urge to craft your reply while the other person is still talking. Give them your full attention and ask questions that show genuine interest. This simple habit not only improves relationships but also enhances your ability to learn. Speaking of connections, let's talk about balancing solitude and isolation in the next lesson. Lesson 3. Solitude versus isolation. Taking time for solitude can be a powerful way to reflect and reorganize your thoughts, but isolating yourself out of pride or selfishness is a dangerous path. When we withdraw to avoid criticism or shut ourselves off from others, we miss valuable opportunities for growth. Think about the difference between taking time to meditate and hiding from those who could help us. They lead to completely different outcomes. How can you balance this? Set aside daily moments for introspection, like a distraction-free walk or a few minutes of silence. But don't forget to seek meaningful interactions as well. Call a friend or engage in conversations that challenge your ideas. Growth comes from both connection with others and individual reflection. And when it comes to relationships, justice is essential, a topic we'll explore next. Lesson 4. The value of justice. Have you ever been in a situation where favoritism or unjust decisions caused harm? Justice is the foundation of any healthy society and personal relationships. When we treat people fairly, we demonstrate integrity and earn trust. Imagine a leader who makes decisions based on merit, not personal preference. That person inspires respect and builds a solid foundation for their team. To apply this in your daily life, start by examining your own actions. Ask yourself, am I being fair to everyone around me? Whether it's dividing responsibilities or resolving conflicts, strive for impartiality. Small acts of justice, like listening to all sides of a story before judging, can completely transform your environment. And to make even better decisions, the next step is seeking wise counsel, our next lesson. Lesson 5. Wisdom in seeking counsel. How many times have you tried to handle everything on your own, only to realize that good advice could have saved you trouble? Seeking guidance from wise individuals is one of the keys to success. No one knows everything, but when we combine different perspectives, we avoid mistakes and find better solutions. Think about a project where you sought help. Didn't it yield stronger results? To practice this, identify someone in your life whom you admire for their experience or insight. Could be a friend, a mentor, or even a book written by an expert. Ask questions, listen, and apply what makes sense. This not only helps you achieve your goals, but also strengthens your relationships. And speaking of relationships, humility plays a crucial role in growth, something we'll cover in the next lesson. Lesson 6. Humility opens doors. Humility is a virtue that few master, but it transforms lives. Have you noticed how the wisest people are also the most open to learning? Pride, on the other hand, creates barriers and makes us miss precious opportunities. Think of a time when you admitted a mistake and, instead of losing respect, gained even more admiration. Humility doesn't diminish, it elevates. How about a simple exercise? Next time someone points out a flaw, accept it with gratitude and reflect on how to improve. Also, recognize and value the contributions of those around you. Humility not only attracts respect but also builds strong relationships, something essential for creating meaningful bonds, as we'll see in the next lesson. Lesson 7. The strength of true relationships. True friends are like lighthouses in a storm, guiding us through our darkest moments. Proverbs reminds us that some friends are closer than siblings. These are the people who stay when everyone else seems to leave. Think of a friendship that supported you during tough times. Wasn't it the strength you needed to keep going? To cultivate these bonds, invest in small acts of care. Call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, send an encouraging message, or simply be there when they need you. These relationships not only bring comfort but also help us confront our own insecurities. Even the toughest challenges become manageable when we have someone by our side. Speaking of challenges, the next lesson warns us about the dangers of pride. Lesson 8. Beware of pride. Pride has a subtle way of sneaking in, making us believe we can face everything alone. But it's a silent enemy that distances us from others and even ourselves. When we rely solely on our own strength, we build sandcastles vulnerable to the slightest breeze. Trusting in something greater, whether it's faith, values, or reliable people, brings stability in uncertain times. How can you combat pride? Next time you face a challenge, allow yourself to ask for help or seek refuge in something beyond yourself. Recognizing our limitations is an act of courage, not weakness. This mindset not only makes us more secure, but also helps us approach situations more wisely. And speaking of wisdom, learning to speak at the right moment is essential, a theme for our next lesson. Lesson 9. Speak at the right time. How often has a poorly timed word complicated a situation? Speaking before listening is like shooting without aiming. You may cause more harm than good. Knowing when to speak isn't just wisdom, it's an art. Think of a conversation where you waited to understand the other person's perspective before responding. Didn't it make the dialogue more productive and harmonious? To practice this, pause for a few seconds before responding in important discussions. Use that time to truly process what was said and offer a response that builds rather than destroys. This simple habit prevents misunderstandings and makes your words more effective. When we learn to speak at the right time, we're one step closer to seeking true wisdom, our final lesson. Lesson 10. The path to true wisdom. Wisdom isn't something you simply stumble upon. It's cultivated through effort, curiosity, and practice. The heart of the wise seeks knowledge constantly, and attentive ears learn even from the smallest situations. Have you ever noticed how the greatest thinkers in history never stopped learning? They understood that true power lies in transforming knowledge into action. Why not start with small steps? Read books that challenge your perspective, listen to expert podcasts, and surround yourself with inspiring people. But most importantly, apply what you learn. Knowledge without action is like an unlit lamp. It has potential but doesn't illuminate anything. When you combine learning with practice, wisdom guides every aspect of life, lighting paths that once seemed unclear. Now tell me, which of these lessons will you start applying today? Knowledge without action is like a map never used. It can take you to incredible places, but only if you decide to walk. Here's the challenge. Can you put one of these truths into practice within the next 24 hours? Imagine the changes that could come from simply adjusting how you speak, listen, or seek advice. And remember, every small change you make today is a step toward the transformation you've always wanted. Share in the comments which lesson impacted you the most and how you plan to use it. And of course, don't let this knowledge stop here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep exploring truths that can change your life. Each video is an invitation to grow and discover new paths. Are you ready to take the next step?